80 questions and answers about the second home, part 3. Xiefeng. Question: the second home is a collective life. To keep collective life orderly and harmonious, must there not be a series of rules and regulations to restrain everyone? A. No. The second home will have no rules, no regulations, no commandments, no codes. Everyone acts according to their nature, following their hearts and desires. Question: if everyone acts according to their nature and desires, won't it fall into chaos, a complete mess, and ultimately end in failure? Without restraints, won't a collective become a heap of loose sand that accomplishes nothing? Don't you think so? A. Your concern is reasonable, but it arises from the mindset of human society, which does not apply to the second home. The second home is not managed according to worldly models, but according to the models of the 1,000-year world and 10,000-year world of the kingdom of heaven. Based on my experience in the 1,000-year world and my understanding of the 10,000-year world, there are no constitutions, laws, statutes, commandments, or rules restraining people. Instead, people constantly correct themselves through inner awakening of the soul, aligning with the best way of life. Everything seems natural, as though it has always been so. Without conflicts or contradictions, everything is in perfect order, warm and harmonious. Question: what you describe sounds like an idealized lifestyle. In reality, it may not work. What guarantees that the second home can function in an orderly and harmonious way? A. The guarantee lies in the principles of Lifechanyuan. As long as each member lives by these principles, there will be no problem. Question: but what if a member or some members do not live according to the principles of Lifechanyuan? What will you do then? A. First of all, we will not allow anyone who does not understand the principles of Lifechanyuan to enter the second home. Before joining, each person must study and comprehend the principles. Only after they resonate in high frequency with these principles can they enter. Afterward, we will continue studying and discussing together, resolving any issues promptly through learning and dialogue. Question: is it really necessary to enter the second home? A. Yes, it is a necessary step on the way to the celestial island continent. Without the experience and cultivation of the second home, it is difficult for people's minds to develop the habits required for the kingdom of heaven. Many problems individuals face cannot be solved within secular society. Many methods of spiritual practice cannot be realized on one's own. Without the collective energy field, the spiritual gate cannot be opened. Question: what conditions must someone meet to enter the second home? Is there a standard of measurement? A. In a single sentence, one must resonate highly with the principles of Lifechanyuan. More specifically, 8 standards should be met. To find the greatest creator, to know the greatest creator, and to learn to converse directly with the greatest creator. To firmly believe in Jesus, Sakyamuni, Laozi, and Muhammad. To firmly believe that Xiefeng is the guide of one's life and soul. To no longer hold a small family or private property, and to have essentially cleared worldly debts. To fully abandon the self, entrusting one's life to the arrangement of the greatest creator and one's worldly path to the guidance of the Tao. To hold in one's heart a single thought: I want to go to the 1,000-year world and ultimately to the celestial island continent. To be spiritually and mentally prepared to enter the second home for the purpose of giving and contributing, not of seeking or enjoying. To be willing to dedicate one's whole life to the great cause of ushering in the Question: how does the second home differ from utopian societies, Buddhist monasteries, Christian convents, and spiritual communities? A. None of the utopian societies in history were guided by systematic philosophy like that of Lifechanyuan. They were blind experiments. The second home, however, is guided by a clear and systematic philosophy. Buddhist monasteries and Christian convents are bound by strict rules, regulations, and commandments. The second home has none. It is completely guided by acting according to one's nature and heart. Spiritual communities, such as Osho's commune, arose from a momentary impulse and lacked lasting foundation, so they were short-lived. The second home, however, follows the Tao of the greatest creator, drawing from an inexhaustible source of power. Once established, it will endure. Communities established by Jehovah's Witnesses have been relatively successful, but they still maintain families, and except for married couples, men and women are forbidden free romantic relationships. The second home, however, has no families, and men and women may enjoy rich and diverse free romantic lives. Question: will the second home be closed off? A. Spiritually, it is open. In lifestyle, it is closed. Every member of the second home has a computer, may freely access the internet, and freely learn about other ideologies and belief systems. There is television, with over 100 global satellite channels to watch. One's thoughts may soar freely without restraint. But daily life within the second home is isolated from the world. It is closed. To be continued.